Hi everyone, welcome to Homerino Collectibles, where today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Thor from the Build-A-Figure Allfather wave. On the side of the box we have some nice artwork. On the back of the box we have a small bio in different languages, and also the figure itself showing off the accessories that it comes with. And then just a little below that we have everyone else in the wave, and the Build-A-Figure itself. And first out of the box we have the right leg for the Build-A-Figure. And here is Thor out of the packaging, and the first thing that I'm going to get to is that sword. Now, I'm going to actually be using that for the Build-A-Figure Thor so that I can have a really nice old Thor versus Galactus kind of display. I absolutely love that. But another thing that I thought of that you could use it for as soon as I saw this thing was for this guy, Strife. So unfortunately, when we got this guy, we were quite let down. Well, I expect that a lot of other people were let down along with me. We got this thing. For a start, his sword should be the same colour as him. It should be a huge silver sword. And we got this tiny little bronze gold thing with some weird detailing on there and everything. It just looks like it's from a completely different toy. I mean, in comparison to him, it's the size of his leg. It should be like the size of him. So I really was not very happy with this thing at all. It looks like it should be part of the Marvel Universe line, not part of Legends. But when I saw this thing, I was so happy because, if I'm not using it for the Build-A-Figure, I can use it with this guy. And there it is with Strife, and I just think that that looks so much better than this tiny little thing. As a size comparison, that is what we got, and that is what we have now. I mean, that is just absolutely fantastic. And I just think, I really wish that they'd have just made this mold a little bit earlier, and we'd have got one for this guy, and then I could actually display, the sword with both. But it just looks absolutely phenomenal with this guy, and it is the same colour there as well, so it just looks absolutely fantastic. Just for a closer look at that sword, here we have the really, really nice design. Absolutely fantastic. Comes to a nice point. Really, really nice. It actually tapers into a point across the length of the blade as well. And they also gave the grip some paint there too, so it's not just completely plain like this thing was. So I am very, very happy with this. And the Thor on the right was actually my first Marvel Legends figure, believe it or not, and it was also the first video review of mine on this channel. So I have a bit of sentimental value, towards that figure for obvious reasons. So the only new things that we're getting on this new mold are the arms and the head, and they haven't actually used the same head sculpt underneath that helmet. It is actually completely different. So if we bring him in close, as you can see, the new Thor, it just has slightly more kind of wrinkles and whatnot. You can see it especially around the eyes. It's ever so slightly a new sculpt. It's not that much different. We also get obviously different helmets and hair. On the back of this guy, we just get the longer hair that flows to the back. And on the back of this guy, we have this piece of cloth that comes down from the helmet. So we don't get any, help with the articulation. I would have thought that instead of just using the same mold, that they would have actually made this thing a little bit better, enhanced it, but they haven't. But we'll get onto that when we get onto the articulation. Obviously with the arms, we just get them without the armour there. We still get the same leg armour down there, just coloured slightly differently. Mjolnir there, obviously here we have a more kind of stone, kind of dirty look there with a nice black wash. Here it's a much more metallic silver, so it looks a lot more like metal. But it is the same mould, and the browns there, it's just a slightly darker brown. And then on the belt there, you can see that it is a darker brown, and you can see that on mine, this one wasn't painted amazingly, whereas on here it's very clean. We do get these new nice little cuffs on here, and obviously we do actually get a second gripping hand, whereas with this one we had an open hand, which I do like very much, but I get why they did that, so that you can actually dual wield the weapons. Otherwise there'd be no point in giving you two weapons, so I'm glad they did that. This suit does not have those painted on dots right there. One thing I don't like about this, this one had a little bit of detail, but not very much. You still get more on the buttons up here. On this one we get quite a heavy wash, the same as what's on the helmet, but even heavier on these little buttons here. But they don't put that on there, so I really did wish that that same kind of wash was over here. It's not a deal breaker, but it would have been nice if they put it there. So I still feel that the SDCC version of this Thor right here, the one that came with like the lightning Mjolnir and the lightning bits on him and whatnot, that came with the wrong parts, because the arms and legs to this guy, the actual metallic bits, they have a slight blueness to them when it has light on it. Whereas that one was just plain silver, so it was as if they were meant to be switched, so that that one looked like it was lighting up. So I really do like the look of it here. Over here, obviously, we don't get any kind of shading on this guy on the metallic bits, but we don't get as much shading as the SDCC version over here in terms of blue, but we do actually get it. There is actually slight hints of blue throughout, and you can definitely see it on the boots down there. But on this guy we don't get any shading of that kind at all. I get it, it's just meant to be like a nice clean black, but it would have been nice if there was some kind of shading on there. But then on the cape I think it kind of makes up for it, because the cape is actually a lighter red, meaning that the dark shading, which is actually pretty much the same shading as what's on this one, shows up more, and it just looks really, really nice. And if you want to see another comparison with the actual Build-A-Figure Thor cape, that will be coming in the next video when I review Captain Marvel, because that comes with her, so I can just go ahead and show you, how all of these three red Thor capes kind of compare together. So as for articulation, the head on this one goes all the way left and right, whereas the head on the new one only goes that far left and right. So we're actually losing articulation, whether that's because of this bit right here or wherever, I don't know, but we're actually losing it because neither of them go up and down, and they wiggle a little bit left and right, but actually turning left and right, I mean, you get less articulation. I get that it's a nice unique sculpt and everything, but if you're going to reuse something, reuse it to the best of your ability. They've just still, kept us, without good head articulation on a character that can fly. And, I just really find that really strange and very annoying, I mean, everyone's going to want their Thor to at least be in a flying pose at some point, and you can't with this mold, so that really does annoy me. So the shoulders go in and out, and they do a full rotation. We have rotation at the bicep. We also have rotation over here at the elbow joint, so, one of those doesn't really need to be there, but never mind. We have a hinge here at the elbow that goes almost 90, rotation at the wrist, and also goes in and out. So the cape hinders articulation just a little bit. I wish it wasn't actually attached to the back like that. I wish it was just in a peg in the back, so that you could kind of have a bit of leeway to allow the arm to go all the way up. I have actually put this Odin Cape, which is the same actual mold, it's just obviously with a peg in the middle, on the Sentry figure. And if you want to check that out, I just did the Sentry review, so you can go ahead and check that out on my channel right now. I just tried it out. It nicely fills in the gaps up here above the chest that pretty much everyone hates, and I just think it looks really, really cool. So if you want to take a closer look at that, go ahead and check out my Sentry video. The diaphragm joint, he moves left and right, and then crunches forward and back, and also moves side to side. And then we have this little kind of belt hook here, which you can actually just hook the end of Mjolnir in and just clamp it down there, so that's a very nice storage option. Down to the legs, this bit is actually flexible here and actually moves up and down, so the legs go forward and back and out to the side, so it doesn't hinder articulation. We have a rotation at the thigh, double jointed knees, we have a rotation at the foot, and we also have movement up and down, but we don't get ankle pivot, so still no ankle pivot for this mold. Again, if they're going to reuse it, why didn't they make it better, but never mind. And he does have peg holes in the bottom of the feet if you're having trouble standing him. Thor is roughly 8 inches tall, so as you can see he's even taller than Sentry, which himself is taller than most Marvel Legends. I definitely recommend the figure. I really do love this mold. I just really wish that it had ankle pivot and that the cape was just, fitted to him a little bit differently so it didn't hinder articulation as much. And if the head could move more, then it would just be an absolutely perfect mold. But without those things, it's not a bad mold at all. And I still really do love the older figure too, so depending on what mood I'm in, I might like the more classic looking helmet and the look of that armour on the arms, and then other times I like this more cleaner and modern look. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want to check out more pictures of these figures or anything else from my collection and for further updates, then go ahead and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's Homerino123 for both, and links will be in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like, and to see more, go ahead and subscribe. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.